Well, I guess you could argue that we're actually pretty lucky today because we've got a distraction from the Premier League. We mentioned that we had a rotten run of fixtures coming up over the festive period, and it certainly worked out that way. We've played one more than most of our opposition in the Premier League table, but we are still in the bottom three. Today, though, we're distracted by the Carabao Cup and a chance to play Manchester City. What could possibly go wrong? We're only playing two of the best teams in the country. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 58 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. We are back today for 2 games in 3 days against Liverpool and against Manchester City. We've had some close run things. We're definitely finding more of an attacking threat in recent weeks, but we're dropping silly points, we're conceding goals for fun, and we just cannot pick up enough points at the minute. We've got 3 players out today as we go to Liverpool before City in 3 days' time. And I've already decided, first team out today, and we'll rest people against City if we have to, because getting to a cup semi-final would be magical. If you're looking forward to seeing if we can do it, I think we probably know the answer, but Liverpool are struggling themselves this year, and please do put a thumbs up on the video. The good news is that off the pitch things are going well. This little temporary move to Stamford Bridge is really working out when we're playing London-based sides because we're getting in record gate receipts. But it does mean that half of the crowd is away fans, which is not really helping our cause. So let's just see how we get on in those two. We've got a lot to reflect on off the pitch as well. First and foremost, we have got problems with one of our big additions from deadline day. Pablo Fornals already wants out. Not happy about his lack of game time. Not happy about being a model citizen and trying to improve the squad. He's decided to do a runner and will go. And he's going to be off for about 300 grand. But we'll see what happens and what club he goes to at the start of January. In the meantime, though, we've got to look at the schedule and see what's been going on, because it has basically been a bit of an unmitigated disaster. We had that awful run of games, but we also had the 3-game stretch where I wanted to pick up points, and we haven't really done it. That's been the biggest concern here. You were with me for the Newcastle and the Spurs games, where we took a gamble with the hope of beating Bournemouth at the weekend. We just about did it. We went one down early on through Omobama Deli's header, another near post set piece goal, but Sam Ammo and Teddy Ivanov helped us turn it around and get a big 3 points. We then lost 1-0 away at Wolves, a disappointing game for a reason you can see. It was a nothing match. Gomez scored a screamer, and then Decore got sent off before half time, but we just couldn't break them down. Felt we might have even had a better chance against 11. But it wasn't as annoying as this game, because against Leicester, we were 2-0 up in 10 minutes. We then missed a penalty, and it would have been 3. And as a result of that, we were pegged back to 2-2 after 50 minutes. Alexander Mitrovic, now 36, came in and scored a goal running off the shoulder of the centre-half from the halfway line, and no one caught him, despite the fact he was slower than every player in our back four. So a little bit frustrated by that. And those 2 drop points have been costly because they're the reason we're in the relegation zone. We've lost all 3 games by the odd goal, conceding absolute bucket loads while we were there. 3-2 away at Chelsea with Adowu getting both. 3-2 against Arsenal with Robbie Allen scoring a great goal and Joe Hugill. We'd actually turned it around from 1-0 down there, but then threw it away late on. And then last time out against Everton, a bonkers game. Teddy Ivanov came on, scored 2 and got injured. Just cannot stay fit at the minute. And Diogo Fernandez got 1 as well. But a very weird season so far. We've just not been able to get that settled 11 out for 5, 6, 7 games, which is what I just crave for so much. And I've actually been doing my points targets. I do it every year. I never really mention it. And as it stands, if we get all the points I've predicted, we get to 36, which is 2 better than last year, but certainly not comfortable. So let's go and get into the first game today, where we don't have to worry about league form. We've got a championship banana skin on the road in the cup as well. But for now, it's the League Cup rather than the FA Cup we worry about. Quarter finalists, the other teams there. Chelsea and Arsenal already through. Who are the 4th one? Villa or Sheffield United. So if we do get through, we'd still be underdogs. But for now, let's worry about the big game. Leeds are hosting City. You better do the job, City. They're both on 9 points at the bottom. Southend are on 14. Then there's loads on 15, 16 and 17. To be fair, we're not as far adrift of most teams as we were last year, but we've got to start finding some form. So let's go and have a look at the team we can put out today. It is 4-4-2 versus 4-4-2. Volsky is suspended after getting sent off last time. We're going to go pretty much as strong as we can. Jimenez back in for Harrison, who's got a heavy match load. I'm going to bring Teddy Ivanov in up front because he had a big impact last game. I can't choose between the two Williamses at centre-half because both have been pretty awful. We have now, though, got Adeniji back. Joe Hugill struggling physically but playing pretty well. It leaves a lot of questions unanswered. So we're going to bring in a couple of players to the bench for this game. Not sure who the best options are. I'm going to go Harrison off the bench for Morehouse. And then Volsky suspended will be replaced by Jai Gell. And I'm not going to put another defender on despite the temptation. So that is the team for the Carabao Cup quarter-final. It is Caljo in goal. The backup keeper is out anyway. Ishmael and Adeniji, the fullbacks, with Parker and Emir Williams as centre-half. Cox and Jimenez, the midfield two. Cox playing really poorly at the moment. Takatsuka on the right. Sam Amo on the left. Ivanov and Hugo up front. We've got options on the bench. We've got quality if we need it. But this is going to be a tall order. It's a chance to cause a shock in the cup and get to a semi-final. But overall, I'm not very confident. Well, 6 changes today for Liverpool. They have rotated a bit for the cup. They've dropped out the likes of Alexander-Arnold, Diamande, McAllister, Nunes, etc. They've brought in a first-choice goalkeeper. But they've still got a fair few strong options in there, haven't they? They've got the likes of Ben Doak and Soboslai, who are key players. And James Artwell is a superstar up front too. So let's go and say there's no pressure on the lads. Go on and try and shock them. We've just not been able to pick up points against sides that we would not expect to normally. We've not been able to give a team a scare, get a threat, get a goal, and then hold on to it. It's always been score 1, concede 2. And you've seen that with the 4-3s, the 3-2s. We've just not got enough at the back. And I know a couple of you mentioned it in the comments, but the players have got to be there to sign, which they're just not at the minute. We've got these young, exciting talents from across the water when it comes to the attacking areas. Not found many at the back, which is why we're still reliant on young English players. As Jimenez has got the ball into the box, it's cleared away. Adeniji just stopped. What's he doing? Artwell skinned the centre-halves. He shoots from miles out. And Caljo makes the save. I mean, he's been the only positive. Where our defence has been getting carved open. And I'm reluctant to go more defensive because I'd rather we entertain still. And we are still overachieving on our budget. But Caljo has been a real positive because he has still been a real good goalkeeper. He's saved great efforts, he's saved penalties, he's made multiple in a match, but he's not got enough of a chance and he's not got enough protection. If we can sign a defensive star in January, we will. But the main thing is keeping the fullbacks fit because Ishmael and Adeniji have missed too much of the year. As Caljo has got the ball in goal, looking for a big ball downfield, I'd imagine. Hugo's up there, Ivanov's up there. One was standing offside and one didn't look like winning the header. Adeniji's been caught out of position. We are so all over the shop defensively. Oh, what has happened to Adeniji? He's come back from injury and he can't defend. Supposed to be the best tackler at the club. Supposed to have great positioning. He's all over the shop at the minute. Liverpool lead 1-0. We're going to encourage the lads, but the chances of us not conceding again in this game are minimal to none. Well, it's gone quiet, but with 5 to the break, we are back with our Liverpool on the ball as Soboslai gives it away to Cox on the edge, who just dallies in possession. What are you doing? What is going on? Where's the quick tempo? Where's the quick direct play? He's just standing there waiting to lose possession. Hugo's knackered up front. It's more injury proneness there. I don't know what's happened to Martin Cox because he started really well the first 3 or 4 games, but he's all over the shop now. We are going to take off Hugo, form Obama, build up his fitness while we can. Sam Amo is going to come off for Robbie Allen. It's now a chance to bring youngsters on, isn't it? We're also going to bring off... I was going to say Takatsuka, but I've not really got much I can bring on. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Lejnik on for him. Adeniji onto the right of midfield. We'll go a bit more cautious there. 3 changes made for now. We've got half the game to go still. And it's about just trying to keep this respectable now because even with half a rotated team, Liverpool are taking the mick out of us as Ben Doak throws into Elliott the sub. Doak crosses, Marconi up looking for his hat-trick. Gets a second bite of the cherry. It's back to Buckley into Smith. The lino's gone up to suggest it's offside. I don't think it was. I really think he's all right there. And if he is, it's going to be embarrassing. No, goal disallowed. We're okay. 5 gone in the second half. It's been a horrible, horrible night. Because we've not even had the attacking threat today. At least the last few were entertaining to watch because we look like scoring at times. As Diakite gives it to Brook. It's up to Smith again. Considering these lot are in the bottom half, they've had a poor year. It's not going well, is it? What is that pass? What on earth is that pass from Jimenez? It's overhit by about 60 yards. It's ridiculous. As Buckley goes left to Marconi. Inside, Jimenez does well this time. Can he make something with the ball on this occasion? He does. He finds Ivanov. He's got support, but he's going alone. Doesn't trust anyone else. Switches right to Adeniji. In the box, you've got a pass. He does. And Teddy Ivanov is poaching in the 6-yard box. Good goal. Good opportunity. We're back in the game. Adeniji looking good in midfield now. And Ivanov gets the crucial goal. I'm probably going to have to take him off soon, though, because we know how prone to injury he is. Half an hour remaining. Liverpool back on the front foot. And Alexander-Arnold on now as well. They're adding the experience in as Brook gets it in the middle. Goes back to Costello on halfway. Finds Marconi. Still looking for that hat-trick. Smith gets it wide to Buckley. I mean, they're just flying people forward. They've got no defensive regard at all. They don't see us as a threat. They know they'll outscore us. And Buckley back in. Back to the edge. It's off the post from Maatson. It's a free kick for offside. Not sure who against. 25 remaining. It's another Liverpool corner. It's about the only thing that hasn't happened today. We haven't let in a near post corner, but based on that, it's only because they're aiming for the far post instead. Let's encourage the lads as Caljo plays long. Up goes Mabama. Alexander-Arnold just leaps past him. It's poor. Mabama gets it again though from Parker. Williams plays a 1-2. Up towards Ivanov, but he's not getting there. There's got to be a little bit more guile here, hasn't there? I was hoping that Cox was going to be like my very own Ross Barkley in that midfield. But he's ended up being a bit poor so far. Though Mabama gets it back from the Allen challenge. Finds Emir Williams. Ishmael to the left to Allen. Back into Mabama. This is good. Ivanov's played on by the left back. He's 1-on-1. Oh, he's hit the post. So close to the equaliser. And this is the one thing I'll say about our side. As poor as we are at the back. As poor as we are in possession at times. My God, we've got a goal threat. Ishmael looks knackered. I don't think it's worth the risk, but who can go out there? I genuinely don't know. Because left back would be Lejnik, and Adeniji can go right back, but then who goes right midfield? There's still not really an option. I mean, Fernandez at a push can do it, and he might have to on this occasion. We're going to go Lejnik to the left. Adeniji drops back, which is not ideal, and then on comes Diogo Fernandez. And then in midfield, do I take off Martin Cox or do I take off Ivanov? I mean, I probably can't now, can I? Because I've let Fernandez go off. Or do I chuck Jigel up front because we know he can score a goal? Let's go for it. Christian Jigel, he's retraining as a striker. We can't risk having Ivanov injured for the long term again. As Brook goes into Smith, we've got pending changes, so don't rule out a goal here. Marconi loses it to Adeniji, who's been good in midfield. Will now be a disaster at the back again as Ivanov skins his man. He's got 2 inside of him. Jimenez is 1. He's hit the post as well. Oh, how have we not scored a second? 2 off the woodwork in 5 minutes. And it feels like it's just not going to be our night. We've done well to get back into this game, but again, I don't know how many times we can experience it. It doesn't matter how many goals you lose a game by, sorry. This still counts as a defeat, and this is going to be another one. Elliott on the edge of the box, looking to make a 2-goal lead. As Costello goes wide to Buckley. Would almost be nice for us to not lose by the odd goal for once. As Brook goes down the left to Marconi. Into the box, it's over the bar. I mean, we're still in this tie remarkably, but I don't really know what to think at this point. It's been a fabulous effort second half. We've had chances, we've hit the woodwork twice. But Liverpool are still the dominant force, and they've got it in the middle again with Krupi. Up to Smith, who looks for Marconi. The voice is going. Will he get his hat-trick? It's back to Buckley. Marconi again, into the box and skied over the bar. We're going to go attacking. There's 2 minutes left. I'd rather lose a cup tie by more and try and go for the game. It's going to make no difference. We lose 2-1. It's another valiant defeat. It's another great effort against one of the big boys. but it still sits without a win now, and going into City at home, that is not an ideal scenario. We'll be back in a minute for that one to see if we can shock the odds, because Leeds have managed to do so against them anyway. Well, we're back for fitness test time, and I'm afraid it's been another difficult few days off the pitch. Firstly, we've got our confirmation that Pablo Fornals is on his way out. He's chosen to return to Spain, and it's a guaranteed 275 grand, which basically covers most of his wages for the time he's been here. That will go through on the 1st of January. We've also had our youth intake preview, which is pretty rubbish. It says good intake, but there's nothing that actually suggests anyone's going to be good. And just to compound it, a couple of the players out on loan have actually suffered serious injuries now, and none of them are really playing that well. What a season it's turning into. Let's go and get through the last of this absolute horror run against City. It makes the next couple of games huge, away at bottom half West Ham and home to 8th place Villa. But we've got to end the rot at some point, and I just don't see how it happens here. I'm very tempted to go to the back three, but I don't feel it makes a difference on this occasion. So we're just going to go with whatever's fit, and we'll make the best formation with it. I think we've got enough strikers fit to go for a front two, so we'll be back in a minute to run through the team. Well, it's not a million miles off a full rotation, this team. We've got a couple of bits of fortune in terms of players returning, but we look so weak at the minute. And it does show that while maybe our first 11, the defence isn't that much weaker than the rest. Certainly in the backup team it is. We've got Takatsuka, who I'm trying to build the fitness of. I'll give him another hour today. Jimenez missed one of the games last week, so he'll get himself another match. Harrison's back in. Idowu's back in after being cup-tied for the League Cup one. Fernandez comes back in with Ivanov on the bench, who I'm treading lightly with still. And then in the back four, it's just what we can cobble together. The first choice goalkeeper is in Caljo, but it's Lejnik and Allsop in at fullback with Reece Williams and Humphreys at centre-half. Allen and Takatsuka the wingers with Jimenez and Harrison in the middle. And then Idowu and Fernandez up front. Lots of quality on the bench, and defensively a fair few fit players as well. I agree with most of you now. Defensively in January, we've got to improve. But the scout reports, they're just not finding anyone at the minute. No one that's worth signing. So let's get through to the City game. See if we can cause the same shock that Leeds did. Would be one hell of an effort if we can take anything from this game. It'd be a bonus, but I don't think it's likely. Certainly not the clean sheet. So this is quite interesting. We've got Matej Lejnik feeling Harrison Parker should be picked, and then Harrison Parker happy that the team selection doesn't include him, but then Lejnik's happy with everything else. I mean, there are a lot of contradicting statements going on there, but we've just got to worry about results. Can we find a way against the City side with 5 changes? Haaland is dropped, Guilherme is dropped, Rodri, Gvardiol dropped, but they're bringing in Ryan Cherki, Zaniolo's there, Mateus Nunes still in, Ignacio centre-half. I mean, there's good players about, aren't there? Bernardo Silva, Rico Lewis on the bench. Bailey Peacock Farrell, did not expect to see that. Kimpembe on there as well. So let's say there is no pressure on you at all. Go out and attack them. Try and scare them. And then we'll time waste late on if we need to. We've not really been in a position to do that much this year. Our confidence isn't there. We're on a losing streak. And I really need to find a bit of magic. But early doors, it is City on the ball. It looks like it's going to be the same old problems, as here they come again with Fresneda to Ignacio, into Ruggieri. Zaniolo on the left finds Ryan Cherki. Coop Miners loses it though. Allen, by the time he's controlled the ball, he's been robbed of possession. Jimenez gets in, but he doesn't win it. Gilbert shoots from miles out. Wow. Caljo just controlled a shot with his foot. That is bold goalkeeping. As Idowu goes for the switch for Jimenez. He's got a man over. Takatsuka. He's got 2 in the box. You've got to find them. Fernandez, he's missed. Oh, it's a great chance. You can't miss those against City. I say it again. We've still got the attacking threat, but we look like we can concede 10 every game. Zaniolo has tried to get past Allsop, who to be fair does well. I've put him in ahead of Brooklyn because I'd rather improve the young player than play someone who's awful. As Jimenez breaks free from midfield again. He's a great workhorse, but he's just not got enough on the ball yet. Hopefully in time that'll come. But he's worked back and won it again. Look at him there. Big switch towards Allen. Again, isn't great. So away as far as Lejnik, who finds Allen. Inside to Harrison. He gives it away this time. He's the one who's supposed to be gifted. Gilbert gets in. 25 yards out. Finds Cancellieri. In he goes. It's a great goal. Matteo, Cancellieri and Gilbert combined. Two brilliant young players and two that have torn us apart. To give you perspective, he's not bad, is he? He's 28 years of age now. Blimey, he's aged quickly. The determination's there. He's got real quality. And to be fair, Gilbert, the striker replacing Haaland, not a million miles away at the age of 22. Actually someone we looked at signing a few years ago, but weren't able to get because we're in the Championship at the time. As Lesnick finds Allen from a throw-in. Can we get back on terms? Harrison to Lesnick. Allen again. Cuts in on his right. Chance to shoot. Allen off the post. Wow, we've had a couple of chances in this game. 12 gone. Fernandez has missed a sitter. And we've hit the woodwork from the edge of the box. We're not out of this match. We've actually had more shots. We've got the better expected goals. City are always going to have a lot of the possession, but we're playing well. And considering we've brought in a backup team, I'm pretty sure around the same time last year, we had a very similar match where we had a backup team against City and nicked a draw. That one I think was away from home, but here's Mateus Nunes in the middle with the ball over. Cancellieri gets in, cross to Gilbert, off the bar, and away by Lesnick desperately. Allen gives the ball away in his own third. I mean, this is not good. Cherky down the right. Cancellieri back to Fresneda. And we're 10 to half time. It's cleared away. It's not been a bad effort, to be fair. City have had the only shots on target, but we have had good opportunities. And if we can stay at one, then maybe throw on an Ivanov or Volsky for a few minutes. You never know. We've got the lads relaxed. We're trying to keep the pressure off because it's so easy when you're losing to just get into that rut. As Cherky puts the corner in, Gilbert just over. God, we can't defend set pieces this year. 5 minutes gone in the second half. We're still 1-0 down. And looking at Jimenez, Fernandez and Tatatsuka, we're going to have to make changes soon. As Coop Miners gets a 1-2 from the throw-in to Gilbert. Not a second, please. Back to Ruggieri. See a penalty coming here. No, cross the box, just 2-0. Cherky puts it in. Midfield runners getting away from us there. And Manchester City will add to our line of defeats, I think. We'll get to the hour mark and then make the changes. Been a very frustrating day again. I'm a little bit worried at the minute, but I feel the way the fixtures have fallen this year are horrible because last year the home games we had at the start allowed us to get off to a bit of a flyer. And then we never really had massive clumps of games. We didn't have 5 or 6 in a row like this where we're playing top sides back to back to back. We had a few winnable games just sort of chucked in the middle of our little runs, and it meant we didn't often go 5, 6, 7 without a win. Here it's a big problem. The City are taking the mick out of us here. It's a training session. They're passing it. They're getting everyone involved in the move. But Lesnick nicked it. And we saw against Liverpool, if we get one, we're a threat. Idowu's in. Idowu shoots it straight at the keeper. They've not even really had better chances than us here. They've just made use of them. I'm going to make the changes now. Takatsuka off for Volsky. It's going to be PJ Smith on for Jimenez. He'll go to the deep line role. And then Fernandez off for Ivanov. We'll also take Idowu off for Hugill. We've got one more left if we need it. But for now, just gives us some fresh legs and some fresh impetus going forward. The defence is really struggling. Lesnick is tired. Humphreys is playing poorly. I don't know where the final sub's going to come. We've got just over 10 to go. You know what? Because it's game over, I might give Morehouse a run out. He deserves it. He's not good enough anymore, and this will probably be his final season at the club. I must say that if we go down, he'll probably be a key player next year, but it's going to be a 2-0 defeat. City have just lost their goalkeeper, and they haven't got a substitute. So they've got an outfield player in goal, and we still can't threaten them. I've gone attack him. We're not even getting a shot. That's how good City are. We go through the dressing room. It's a 2-0 defeat. It's respectable again. But we're not getting any points for respect. We're not getting any points for being close in games. We've got to turn this around soon. Brighton have picked up a win. Forest and Wolves drew with each other. Norwich won against Leicester. They're all pulling away a bit. We've got to start winning games. I'm hopeful that we're going to get that now because after 6 without a win, we've got a run of fixtures that include some friendly ones. My biggest worry about that is that most of them are away from home, but we've been close. We've gone away to some of these top sides and we've been close. So we can get on the scoring trail at home to some of the bottom half teams. If we maybe can add one defender in January, we're not far away. The squad is settling down. The team cohesion is back up to average. We're getting there, slowly but surely. So I'm going to try my best to get things done over the next month or so. Get a few results against some of the least fancy teams. I'd kind of put down to get points, to be honest, in 4 of the next 5 matches, whether it's 1 point or more. So I'm hopeful we can do that. We will return for transfer deadline day in January, which I think will be a bit busier. 2 or 3 maybe going out on loan and maybe 1 or 2 defenders coming in. And then we will be back for that with either Norwich or Forest, depending on how the next few games go. So if you're looking forward to that and you did enjoy this one, 2 more good efforts, but again, 2 more defeats, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. I know we've been quite unfortunate. I mean, those 5 games are rotten. All of them finished in the top 6 last year, I want to say. And we faced 5 of them in succession. So we can't take too many negatives from it, but we have got to find a way to concede less, and better defenders is the only solution. So I'm hoping you'll come and join me next time as we try and find those in a transfer window, and hopefully we will be in a better position with some huge winnable games coming up. We'll see one of those on camera next time, so if you want to stay up to date and make sure you don't miss it, and see what we do in a January window, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back in the meantime with something special tomorrow, a little bit of nostalgia for you on the channel, before we return on Monday with the head coach, a big deadline day there, followed by the same in this one on Tuesday. Between now and then though, you can find all the key playlists in the eye above with some of our guides, experiments and other stuff too. The football podcast and Twitch channel are also up there with regular content, and we'll be live on Sunday morning as always. But thank you very much for watching, for being here as always. The horrible run is over. Now we've got to get points. The big games against the sides in and around us, and we have got to take advantage. I'll see you next time to find out if we have.